Greetings, this is Cindy Zickman with a backstory for one of the characters in Bootstrap, my memoir. This piece was first published by Cutleaf Journal in April 2022. It's called Feline Intuition. Easter Sunday morning, my hand dug deep into the trash behind Stevens Creek Hyundai in San Jose, pushing around discarded lunch wrappers and spare parts using a twisted dry cleaner hanger. Sweat beaded above my upper lip and collected in the crease of my chin beneath an N95 mask. The odor of rotting garbage surrounded me. Instead of heading to the beach as planned, I told my husband we had to stop and search for my good luck charm, a black rubber cat named Bendy 5%. I had mistakenly left the replica of my first pet when I emptied my car for trade. For the past 47 years, Bendy 5% had ridden in my car, wrapped around the rearview mirror, guarding the back bumper and channeling the protective spirit of my mother, who had died a few months before I purchased the amulet. Christians have St. Christopher, Hindus have Ganesh, others have Archangel Michael. I had Bendy 5%. "I'm coming to find you," I telegraphed to her as we sped down Highway 280, 20 minutes from the dealership. I first noticed she was missing from her perch when I checked the vehicle that morning like a pilot measuring gauges before takeoff. "Call them and see if they're open," I said to my sleepy husband. We'd left early to beat the crowds, hoping to enjoy the unseasonably warm day at the beach. "Google says they're closed," he said. "Call them anyway, someone might answer." My mind wandered to the day I had purchased Bendy 5%. It was a few weeks after my mother died, in 1974. I was turning 16 that year and had just gotten my driver's license. I drove her seafoam green Toyota pickup into Helena, Montana, our closest town. I bought a rubber cat and ostrich at the Ben Franklin store to commemorate passing the test. Sadly, the ostrich was a casualty of a car break-in a few years later, leaving Bendy 5% as my only good luck charm. I announced into the speakerphone, "I left something in a white CT200 that I traded in on Thursday. Is the car still there?" The stranger put us on hold and checked the back lot with nearly 30 used cars parked side by side. He returned and confirmed that my old car was on site. This announcement gave me hope. The original 5% had been a sign of hope. When she was a kitten and I was away at Girl Scout camp, she contracted feline distemper. The doctor told my mother that 95% of the cats who contract the disease perish. Refusing to let my first pet die on her watch, my mother nursed the cat back to health. Centuries-old superstitions claimed that black cats were bad luck. They became a hallmark for spooky Halloween decorations. 5% survival proved that some black cats bring good luck. And hers was twice as concentrated as regular, I reckoned. 5% had been weaned from her mother cat early and suckled the bathroom rug like it was a pacifier. Eventually, she matured into my constant companion, accompanying me on long walks in the pine forest behind our trailer park. We had a special place overlooking a natural hot spring where I sang a made-up song about the soulmate I hoped to meet someday. She usually stood silently watching, but sometimes when I sang with more emotion, she'd run up one tree, then back down it, and up another, expressing my want in her outbursts. Feline intuition has been attributed to their acute senses, allowing cats to feel changes sooner than their humans, like health threats, changing weather patterns, or passionate verse. My husband didn't question the change of plans. He knew the priority was to get Bendy 5% back before my car was sent to auction. We couldn't lose my spirit animal. When I was a freshman in high school, I'd lost the original 5% to unknown causes. The following year, I lost my mother to bone cancer. I didn't have a father. He had died from heart failure during a hospital test when I was too young to understand the finality of death. Losses can pile up on a person, making them cling irrationally to things. Like the original 5% had turned our small rug into a binky. I was grasping for Bendy 5% with the desperation of a child who had lost her blankie. Hyundai's holiday crew was sparse. While two salespeople chatted in a glass-walled office, a service attendant led me to their back lot where the sun beat down on 3 rows of used cars. Before the attendant could find the keys, I ran to the middle row and tried my car's door. It opened. My hands felt around the rearview mirror in the center console and glove compartment. I looked under the seats, in the back, along the door cup holders. I could tell the attendant wanted this story to have a happy ending by his sad look when I came up empty. The second security person arrived to help, though neither knew how best to assist. I wasn't emotional, but I was a woman on a mission. My eyes scanned the area, thinking like Detective Columbo, whose reruns I'd been watching on Amazon Prime. Where would a thief stash the goods? I morphed into crime-solving mode, even though no crime had been committed. From having 2 purses previously stolen, I knew that garbage cans were the best place to look for discarded hot property. Then, for the first time that morning, I didn't feel crazy. The other item that I had hung over my rearview mirror peeked out from under the coat hanger. A blue wristband from the last live concert I had attended before the pandemic, Halloween 2019, One Republic. This was too specific to belong to anyone else. Bendy 5% had to be nearby. 3 cars were parked in the service bays, and no mechanics were working that day. I emptied the garbage can with the vigor of a gold miner. Carrying a toy in my car for almost 50 years and believing it brought me good luck might be considered overly sentimental, but Bendy 5%'s record speaks for itself. In all the time that I'd had my good luck charm, I'd never been rear-ended nor had a high-speed collision. I counted. Bendy 5% and I had owned 8 vehicles, lived in 4 states, graduated from 5 schools, and had dozens of bad first dates in our years together. She was the most permanent being in my life. Desperate situations call for bold action. I entered the service bays with a mix of excitement and reverence for the tools and equipment that sat silent on their 1 day off a week. It felt as if I were breaking and entering, even though I had 2 service attendants watching my every move. I walked slowly to the back, and a small room appeared to the right. "I'm going into this office," I announced, as if admitting to snooping would make it okay. The older attendant gave me a nod. 3 plastic shelves were stacked on a small metal desk. One had a white terry cloth rag, the kind Amazon sells in packs of 12. Between a pair of sunglasses and a big pen rested Bendy 5%. She was formed in the reclining position with her head resting on her paw as if she were resting before her next gig. The person who details used cars had chosen to keep her and a pair of sunglasses above all other foreign objects. That's how cool she is. I grabbed 5% as if I were breaking her out of prison. "You're coming with me." "Wait till you see the new car," I said. I turned to the astonished service attendants and told them the highlights of Bendy 5%'s illustrious life. They smiled, nodded, and laughed open-mouthed when they learned that she'd already survived 2 robberies. It was going to be a happy Easter in the Hyundai dealership's back parking lot after all. I didn't know how much time had passed. It seemed like 5 minutes, but I think it was 30. For half an hour, my husband and our 2 rescue pups had patiently waited in the new car, reading the driver's manual and trying to program the GPS for the beach. I'd long ago realized that my husband was a soulmate that the original 5% and I had imagined for myself during those long summer days of awkward adolescence, singing to the pine cones in the foothills of the Rockies. The detour to rescue my talisman had added a total of 90 minutes to our drive, but neither my husband nor my pups complained. We are a family that leaves no member behind. This is Cindy, author of Bootstrap, signing off.